Master Duel fans. This is a very special video because it was just announced, and you can see it for yourself on the Master Duel homepage, that there are upcoming changes to the Master Duel banned limited and semi-limited list. I have all these changes here, and I also have them written down so we can go over them real quick because I want to get on top of this big news because we got some serious changes coming. So, all the cards that are being changed are listed here. I'm going to go over them right now. So we'll start with what is going to be forbidden, then go to limited, semi-limited, and one unlimited. First big one on the forbidden list is True King of All Calamities is going to be banned. This card is a pretty serious floodgate, being able to just turn off the effects of monsters of an attribute and it being able to change attributes. This going on the ban list will shut down a lot of floodgates. The next big one, continuing the anti-floodgate, is Imperial Orders going on the ban list. Imperial Order is super annoying for if you want to play any spell cards at all, which harshly impacts fusion decks, it impacts Sky Striker. Pretty much everyone that isn't just running their set by 3 copies of Imperial Order. That's a big one. Another card that's going on banned, Vanity's Emptiness, preventing players from special summoning. Floodgates are getting hit super hard this ban list go around. I'm glad we're finally getting a ban list, and this is some big hits it's actually dropping us. Another big one, and probably one of the most surprising, Destiny Hero Celestial is going to be banned, going from 3 copies to 0. This is going to be a big hit to a lot of decks that just run DPE. It'll shut down any advantage they get from having Celestial sent to graveyard. Dasher and Celestial are the typical go-tos to be slotted into decks to be able to summon DPE, and taking away the one that gets the most advantage will seriously impact the amount of power you get from running this engine in your deck. The next one, which is a little surprising, but I am glad it's getting hit, number 75, Bamboozling Gossip Shadow is going to be hit. This was used in a lot of Phantom Knights, Rongo Bongo, Rongo Miniad decks, and so it being taken out will severely impact Rongo Miniad's ability to affect the game state as much as it does. It will not be able to just easily attach more materials than it needs to activate its strongest effect. This is, I think, it might be an overreaction to how to counter Rongo Miniad. They could have just banned Rongo Miniad, but I feel like taking away what makes it easier will make players that still want to summon Rongo Miniad have to work harder to get it out. So a high cost, high investment, I should say, high reward card still exists. So an easier way to cheese it out is now taken away. This does impact some other things, as I just did recently go over a first turn kill play that involves using Gossip Shadow and Angel of Misfortune. But if it means that Rongo Miniad won't be as much of a threat anymore, I think it is worth the hit. So once again, all the cards on the forbidden list are now True King of All Calamities, Imperial Order, Vanity's Emptiness, Destiny Hero Celestial, and number 75. Moving on to what is going to be on the limited list, we have Crossout Designator. Crossout Designator is pretty much a 3 of in a lot of high meta running decks. So it only being access to 1 means that you will not be able to cross out your opponent's crossout for starters, but also makes it less likely you'll be able to, and less likely your opponent will be able to shut down your plays by banishing their copies of the cards you're running. This will probably impact mirror matches a fair bit because there are a lot of the same decks running at high tier. Overall, I'd say this is probably good for deck variety because it does take away 2 cards that were slotted into decks and allow them to run more. I'm just going to be upfront. I think back row is something that a lot of players ignore. So MSTs, Cyclones, Galaxy Cyclones, Cosmic Cyclones, Heavy Dust Tornadoes, those things will have more room to be played. Also, there still are other removals, such as Lightning Storm can still be run at 3. If you were sort of balancing hand traps around 2 of each, this could give you extra space for running 3 ofs. Maybe other hand traps, such as Droll and Lock or DD Crow, which are some of the less frequently used ones. Or if you're feeling crazy, you could slot in a no material. But This is not about deck building. This is about the list, and I'm getting off topic. Next one that's going on the limited list, Pot of Prosperity. This is one that I'm a little surprised is being hit out of all the pot cards. I would have thought that the Pot of Extravagance would have been a bigger target, considering that it just guarantees you 2 cards, whereas this lets you pick one and also reveals cards from your deck. But I guess because you are choosing the cards that you lose, it is viewed as the better option for keeping resources available and being able to pick and choose which ones that those are. The next card on the limited list, Prank Kids Meow Meow Moo, is going to be limited. Prank Kids Meow Meow Moo can already only be summoned once per turn, and its effect can only be used once per turn, so I'm not sure how much of a hit that this is going to be, other than to make Prank Kids not have as many good Prank Kids rank 1s, because I'm pretty sure Meow Meow Moo is the only one. I don't know, I don't play Prank Kids. This hit, I don't think is... It probably only really... Well, obviously it only affects Prank Kids. It's a Prank Kids card, not a generic one. I don't really have any strong opinions on this one. Feels like a weird hit because I don't think Prank Kids are that dominant in the meta. But if you want to talk about a hit that is more dominant in the meta, and you'll see in just about every other deck, Fusion Destiny is going to 1. What this does is this helps limit the power of Verte Anaconda, because let's say your opponent summons out a Verte, uses its effect to send a card, you negate that effect, they still would have their second copy of Fusion Destiny in their deck available to make DPE. However, with it being limited to 1, this means that it is less likely that they'll... Well, it's impossible that they'll be able to try to use Fusion Destiny twice in one turn unless they're able to cycle Fusion Destiny back from the grave, or it is less likely that they will open Fusion Destiny and be able to skip out Verte altogether. This is a... Between this and Celestial, I think this is a good thing to do for making DPE not as powerful of a play in every deck. Hopefully this will be good for deck life and make people play different things. I don't know all the terminology for this, I just play card games. So, going over the limited selection, the cards are going on the limited list once more. They are Crossout Designator, Pot of Prosperity, Prank Kids Meow Meow Moo, and Fusion Destiny. Now we're getting to the semi-limited. Here we have some ones that are going from 1 to 2 copies are going to be available. First one is Altergeist Multifaker. Altergeist Multifaker is absolutely a must-have in any Altergeist deck, so it going to 2 will probably increase the amount of Altergeists that are seen being played, and Altergeist doesn't actually have a wide selection of great monsters to summon. So overall, I would say this is mostly used to help encourage players, to gently encourage them to play Altergeist. Which, Altergeist is sort of a trap lockdown deck, at least in some builds that I've seen in it. But if it means that we're seeing more Altergeist and less of a lot of other just meta abusing things, then I'm looking forward to it. Another card that's going to 2 of is Salamangreat Gazelle. Salamangreat Gazelle has always been a powerful card in the Salamangreat engine, and it going to 2 will super... What are the words I'm looking for? It's a great day for Salamangreat players. I think the only way this day could have been better is if they bump Salamangreat Gazelle to 2 and also just decide, hey, here's Heat Leo. Not Heat Leo. Heat Soul. Code Talker Heat Soul. We're just throwing him in the game now just cuz. I know all the Salamangreat players, I enjoyed going up against Salamangreat. I think that they are more engaging to play against than a lot of decks. Looking at you, Sword Soul. So I am happy to see this. Now, I think that the next card on this semi-limited list should be going to 1 or just outright banned, but I'll take what I can get, and that is Skill Drain. Skill Drain is, in my opinion, a no fun allowed card, completely shutting off monster effects. You'll often see this in Eldritch or just any sort of Stunlock deck, and it is just super annoying to want to play Yu-Gi-Oh! And be able to use cool card effects and have nice interactions, and someone just says, no, everything is not an effect monster. Super annoying. I'm glad this is going to 2. I wish it was going to 1 or just on the ban list with Imperial Order and Vanity's Emptiness. But you can't win them all. The next card going to 2 will be Fire Formation Tenki. Tenki is often seen in Tri-Brigade decks, sometimes in other things such as Lunalight, and it being able to be essentially a reinforcement of the army for Beast Warriors. It makes sense that it would go down, because for these decks that play Beast Warriors, it is better than a Rhoda, because along with being able to add more than one copy of Tenki in your deck, it also provides a slight stat boost to your Beast Warriors. So this card going to semi-limited makes sense. And finally on the list, we have a card that is going to unlimited. That is Knight Assailant. Flip target one monster your opponent controls, destroy that target. If it's sent from the hand to the graveyard, target one flip monster in your graveyard except Knight Assailant, add that target to your hand. I feel like Knight Assailant is going to unlimited because it does not see play, and the developers and people who manage the game state and pay attention to that thing have realized that there's really no point to this card being on the limited list when it doesn't see play at limited at all. So maybe this card will have some play if it is unlimited. That is all my brain can think of for what they're going to do here. Now, let's just run through this one more time. Cards on the Forbidden List are True King of All Calamities, Imperial Order, Vanity's Emptiness, Destiny Hero Celestial, and number 75, Bamboozling Gossip Shadow. Cards going to semi-limited are Crossout Designator, Pot of Prosperity, Prank Kids Meow Meow Moo, and Fusion Destiny. If I said those cards were going to semi-limited, I meant limited. Limited is Crossout Designator, Pot of Prosperity, Prank Kids Meow Meow Moo, Fusion Destiny. The cards that are going to semi-limited are Altergeist Multifaker, Salamangrate Gazelle, Skill Drain, and Fire Formation Tenki. The only card coming off of the ban list completely is Knight Assailant. Now, if you want to see these changes yourself, you can go ahead and go to the notifications page, and here it is listed, upcoming Forbidden and Limited list update. These changes are going into effect on August 31st. That is 8 days from now. Wednesday of next week. You can see the list here. True King, Imperial, Vanities, Celestial, number 75. You will no longer be able to get cards added to the Forbidden list from packs at the shop after the list is implemented. If a card's Forbidden status is lifted after a future revision, it'll become available from the shop packs. So, that's important to note. These cards will no longer be openable, but you presumably will still keep the ones you already have. Cards to limited, Crossout, Prosperity, Meow Meow, and Destiny. Semi-limited, Multifaker, Gazelle, Skill Drain, and Tenki, and unlimited, Knight Assailant. There will be dismantling bonuses for these, as there were in the last update. The application duration for getting the full dust value for dismantling is from August 31st to September 29th. So that is a 1 month period where it can be dismantled to get 20 points regardless of the surface finish. So that is twice the value of a normal dismantle, not a full cost for the card. Hang on a tick. If cards designated limited, semi-limited on the Forbidden list, a 20 points craft point bonus. So it's a bonus. So you will get the full 30 point bonus for dismantling a card at base rarity. And that is the Banlist update for Master Duel. If you want to take a more in-depth look at this yourself, open up Master Duel, check your notifications. But that is the Master Duel update for today. Don't really feel like doing the full outro for this one because it doesn't feel like it warrants it. So instead, we'll just do the casual outro. Bye.